welcome to our product webinar of the third quarter of 2025. We're very excited to have you here and to run through some of the most amazing features that we delivered this quarter. So first, let me introduce you to the team. Marcus, can you pass? Gracias. First, we have me, a senior product manager in charge of the delivery team. I'll be moderating today, and I have amazing guests with me. The first one is Danny, our Chief Product Officer. Hi, Danny. We have Johan, our product advocate, also here as a speaker.
Glad to be here.
We have Chris Bini, Principal Product Engineer, speaker, answering the chat. Hi, Chris. And last but not least, Tim, Senior Product Manager here, speaker too.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so let's start. So in the next slide, we have the features we're going to be speaking about. We have Outbound SMS, something that is very exciting for us. We have Final Mile functionalities. We have HaulPay Wallet, Global Payments Click-to-Pay, LSP Carrier Bulk Updates, and finally, Cross-Border City Lookup. And at the end, we're going to have a short space for questions. But also, we are going to have the chat available. So if you have anything that you want to ask or want to share, we have Chris, who is going to be answering. Let's start. Marcus, can you pass the slide, please? Okay, awesome. First feature that we want to share with you today is Outbound SMS. Tim, tell us about it.
Yeah, so Outbound SMS text messaging from the TMS, it's actually not something that's entirely new. It's something that we've done for a while, but we've decided to bring it sort of front and center and make it an equivalent to emailing from the TMS. So now you'll find SMS messaging as a core communication workflow in the TMS. There were a few different reasons for this. One is that sometimes context can get lost if you're sending text messages from your personal phones or personal devices, and we wanted to make sure that that was sent from within the TMS so that activity could be tracked and linked to specific shipments. We know brokers can only make so many phone calls, send so many emails, and the more they work with drivers or customers or consignees that prefer text messaging can be quick and easy. And so we wanted to make it easy and natural to send those text messages from specific shipments for different reasons. And I don't know if you know this, but we were still faxing. We had faxing as sort of a core messaging component of the TMS, and it's 2025. Nobody really does that anymore. So we've sort of used this as an opportunity to replace all of the faxing components that we had, like storing fax numbers for drivers or consignees, and replacing those with their mobile phone numbers. And yeah, that brings texting front and center as an outbound communication in the TMS.
Awesome. Thanks, Tai team. Can you please show us how this looks in the TMS?
Actually, that's
so.
Okay,
go ahead.
I only start sharing my screen so we can show you exactly what this looks like. So let me go ahead and take the screen now. Okay, cool. To use this, very simple. We add this to a modal that you guys are familiar with, the send message modal. Once you access the send message modal, the system actually gives you suggestions. So if, for example, we type in carrier here, if for example, a contact has the mobile phone number set up in their profile, or maybe the customer stats also has this mobile phone number set up in their profile, then the system will give you suggestions. So you'll see phone numbers being able to be selected as the two in the send message modal. So once selected, you will be able to type in whatever message you want to send out, or you can use, of course, some templates. For example, we can use the carrier check call, and the system will load up the template as it would do with any email that you're used to be sending. And then you can just click on send message. That's basically it. Very simple, very straightforward to send a message. You will also be able to type in any phone number, not necessarily only it's limited to numbers that are saved in customer staff members or carriers. You can actually just type in whichever phone number you want, click enter. You can do multiple ones, and then same process, select the template and send those out. And very, very simple, very straightforward. Also from the activity log, you will be able to filter those out. So you can filter on text message activities, and you can see all the text messages that were sent directly about a specific shipment. So you can view them from the activity log. And then we also have something called the communication log. Right from the shipments tab right here, you'll see communication log. And then you can come here and find, as you would with any email that was sent, you can find those text messages that were sent. You can find the information here and see what was sent and if it was successfully sent over. That is something that we can do. And last but not least, from the content templates, we added specific text content templates that you can customize so that they meet your needs. So what you can do here is access content templates, filter by text, and then you see that we have our standard text messages of like carrier check call, and you have up to 10 custom templates that you can customize on your own, and just make sure that you have that your message can quickly be added to the send message model and sent to whoever you need. That's how it works.
Thank you, Johan. Would you say there are another feature highlights and benefits that you would like to share?
Yeah, of course. So Johan did a great job kind of walking through where this lives and how you can use it within the TMS. But there's a few things that I think are noteworthy in what he showcased that I want to touch on. So earlier I mentioned this idea that brokers might be using personal devices to send messages. Well, that's not a good thing for a couple different reasons. Well, one, you're using your personal device to do work or maybe store extra contact phone numbers that maybe you don't want to have on your phone. Well, having those shortcuts in the TMS where you can store mobile numbers on customers, carrier contacts, that means you don't have to store those numbers yourself. You can access them very easily from within the TMS. And also the activity logs. If you're sending stuff from a personal device, you don't have the activity log to track that the message was sent. And so managers or other team members don't have visibility into that message. They don't know if it was sent, when it was sent, or if it was sent to the right number. So having that shipment activity log trail, that communication log is super important, and having that paper trail showing the messages went out. And then last but not least, the templating. Templates sound kind of simple when it comes to text messaging. We're just talking about sending out, a quick text message, right? No big deal. But you still want your text messages to be consistent and professional across the team. And so by crafting those messages ahead of time, not only do you maintain that brand coherency across senders in the system, making sure that your messages always look and sound professional and they're a good reflection of your company, but they're the same across the team. So if somebody is out or somebody is filling in for somebody else, they're going to send the messages in the same way that that other person would have sent them. And then last but not least, you might have noticed it in that carrier check call text, but we allow you to send links from text messages. So we have pages in our system that are interactive pages for something like a carrier. So our carrier portal page, for example, maybe you want to message a carrier and you want to give them an easy way from their phone to track a location or to add reference numbers or delivery to a shipment. You can include links like that in the text messages and then send those out from the system, giving the carrier a really easy way to respond.
Yeah, I think it's a really important component of this, right? Like with the messaging, being able to send out the message, but with that link, because like it gives them the familiar process that actually our customers are kind of used to, right? Like you send an email and you have a link in there and it takes you to that carrier facing portal where they can go upload docs. They can, take the action that you want them to take with, the message that you're sending out. So just, it's a good thing to keep in mind is like that specific functionality of, sending that message out with the link and then be able to take the action that we want them to take.
Awesome. Thank you. Does anyone want to add anything else about this feature before we move to the next one?
I think
I'll just kind of quickly just add kind of why this is important really fast is it's just effective and efficient. Broker efficiency is something that we always strive for in our system. We want everything that is redundant or that takes time to be as efficient as possible. And I think this is a great way to eliminate some manual work that your team might have in reaching out to different drivers or dispatchers and just make these tasks a lot faster.
Yeah, faster communication, full visibility, and then just consistency. Like you're sending out the messages that you're consistently, using that are effective and taking those actions.
Awesome. Thank you very much, both of you. So let's move to the next release that we want to share with you, which is Final Mile.
Did we answer the questions? I wanted to make sure we answered the question about receiving texts. We're good there?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Those
the
are some of the
context of the
questions we had.
messaging in terms of replies, it's like we're not getting messages. We are working on an additional function there to be able to support incoming messages. They'll have a little bit of a different purpose, but a lot of what we're doing with the outbound SMS messaging is being able to get those templates out, get those links out, get the actions that you want done on that shipment via the SMS, and then but we will be continue. Communication is an area that we're going to continue on, for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, the plan is that each broker will probably have their own phone number that they'll be able to text to and from, and then we'll be able to do that. We'll be able to thread the messages in together using that.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, and it looks like, as I said, it looks like there's one other question there from, I think it's Jennifer, about adding in new phone numbers. Absolutely. You can add new phone numbers on the fly. You do not have to go back and edit like a carrier contact or anything like that to send a new message. If that's a new phone number for that contact, you probably want to do that, but you're certainly not required to. You can add phone numbers one at a time or many in the same message, all from within that send message modal that John pulled up.
Thank you very much. Those are great questions. Thank you for the team for clarifying. So yeah, now let's move to Final Mile. So Marcus, if you can play the video that we prepared so you can see it.
Okay, let's talk about Final Mile, one of the newest service options you can now support directly within the TMS. Final Mile has always been a critical part of the delivery process. Now you can quote, manage, and execute those services directly within the TMS. Whether it's assembly, installation, or inside delivery, you can easily support specialized last leg services for your customers, all without leaving the platform. Let's take a look at how to set up and use the Final Mile workflow. The first step is to create a tariff for your Final Mile service. In this example, we've already created a sample tariff. When you open your tariff profile, you'll need to select a Final Mile carrier. You can choose one from your existing carrier list or add a new one from the master carrier list. Next, set the mode to Final Mile from the dropdown. Make sure your effective and expiration dates are correct, and then choose the appropriate service level. These are the available options: white glove assembly, delivery outside, pickup inside. For this example, we'll select threshold delivery, but you can configure any of the available options depending on your customer's needs. You can decide whether the tariff applies to your entire organization or to a specific customer. In our case, we'll make it customer specific. At the bottom of the tariff profile, you'll see a selection called Terminal Information. Typically, Final Mile shipments move from pickup location to a delivery terminal and from there to the final destination. You can link this terminal information directly from your global address book. If the terminal doesn't exist yet, you can easily create one from there by clicking New Terminal. Set the location type and enter in all the relevant details such as company name, address, contact info, operating hours, and any special instructions. Once saved, this terminal will appear in your tariff profile, ready to be selected. Including terminal information is important because the system will automatically add that terminal as an additional stop in the shipment workflow. So you'll have the first pickup, the terminal, and the final delivery stopped. This ensures that the handoff between the carriers and Final Mile delivery team happens smoothly. After you save your tariff, in the lane criteria section, you can manage your pricing setup just like you would with any other tariff. For this demo, we'd use a simple example, $3 per mile, but you can configure pricing based on any calculation methods available in the TMS, including manual tariffs. Once your tariff is ready, you can create a shipment to see it in action. In this case, we've created a customer-specific tariff for Acquion products. After entering the shipment details such as lanes, commodity information, make sure the appropriate accessorial white glove service is selected before you generate a quote. Then generate your smart quote just as you would with any other tariff. You'll then see the available LTL rate along with the final mile service option. You'll notice white glove icon next to the carrier that includes the final mile service. When you select a tariff, you'll be able to view both the buy and sell rates plus any fuel surcharge or any additional charge that apply. Once you've reviewed your options, select the carrier and rate that best fits your shipment. When you select your tariff, you'll see that the system automatically adds the final mile delivery carrier as an additional leg in the shipment. The pricing breakdown will show both your standard LTL rate and the final mile rate beneath it. Once everything looks good, just click Save. After saving, you'll see how the system organizes your shipments, the pickup location, the terminal stop, and the final delivery point. This ensures full visibility of every stage of the shipment lifecycle. And that's how Final Mile works within the TMS. It gives you the flexibility to offer premium delivery services such as white glove or threshold delivery while keeping routing, pricing, and terminal management automated and accurate.
Awesome. Great video. Chris, do you want to share with us why did we build this?
Well, we built this because we're getting into managed transportation. That's where the industry is going. The ability to do multiple things on a shipment, whether it's accessorial replacement or in this case final mile. It's stuff we're working on. But the idea that you're able to stack these rates together so that they can do what they need to do is awesome. Along with it comes a bunch of neat functionality that we've been working on. Yes, Lorraine, that tracking at the different transit legs is something that is on the books for next year. The whole rating, the whole invoicing, all that stuff is for next year. But some of the stuff that comes across it that is really cool. I'm going to share my screen for a second just because I want to show you guys what came along with this is something that we've had to ask for a lot. And that is now that we have this, this multi-level thing, we've also added stop association. So in this case, what we see is stops 1 and 2 are associated with the line haul, and stops 2 and 3 are associated with the delivery line haul. And what this makes us able to do that we haven't been able to do in the past is out of the box, you generate a bill of lading with the proper stops for both the line haul and the delivery. So this is stuff we're doing. So what comes along with this is if you associate the stops, you'll get a document for each of the different stops. And I just want to make sure we showed that along with this stuff. But that's what we see.
Chris, and even to go further on that question about tracking different and unique pros within the final mile flow. I mean, we can track that today. That's not a future thing, right? Like at the transit leg level, you've got the.
We don't have multi-leg tracking right now, and that was required the stop association, and we've had that for a little while, but it's a manual process, and this starts to automate, that stop association with the different carriers. So yeah, we'll go from that. As far as Jonathan being able to post multiple loads to legs to different load boards, that's something now that we have the stop association, now that we have this ability, that is something that we can look at expanding, but it isn't something that we've talked about just yet.
I mean, the main purpose, the main goals that we had is like really have a one rate shop, right? So instead of rating the LTL and the final mile separately and then combining, it's just a one-stop shop. You hit your thing, you hit the button and go. So
yeah,
makes the process.
Yeah, and as far as that automation goes, right now we don't have the multi-transit leg dispatching tracking. This is the rating, so we're introducing that. You can do API rates through this; it'll be fine. But that is something we're definitely moving in the lineup as being able to track, trace, rate, get your documents, your attachments for each of the individual legs.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want to add on top of that?
No, that is all I have for that. Like I said, bear with us. It's in its infancy. Got turned on last week or so. So there's stuff we want to do with it, and there's stuff we're going to have to fix once people start using it.
Great. Thank you very much, Chris. Then let's move to the next feature that we have for today. HaulPay Wallet. Marcus, please show us the demo video.
Let's talk about the HaulPay Wallet, a smarter and more secure way to manage carrier payments directly from the TMS. HaulPay Wallet helps you protect your business from fraud while simplifying how you pay carriers. It connects to HaulPay's trusted payment network, designed to keep every transaction safe and verified. Once you're set up, you can send secure electronic payments directly from your available wallet balance. When a payment is processed in the TMS, it's automatically sent to HaulPay, where their platform handles fraud protection, digital processing, and remittance. All ACH and bank account information is stored securely on the HaulPay platform, ensuring sensitive data is fully protected. Enrollment or onboarding is quick and seamless, so you can start sending secure payment with confidence. Let's see how it works. From the Pay Bills page, find the carrier you like to pay. Select the carrier and shipment, and then click Register Payment. On the payment modal, you'll notice a new option on the side called HaulPay. When you select HaulPay, you'll see key details such as HaulPay Wallet Available Funds, showing you your current balance. You'll see the total bill amount, and you'll also see the HaulPay Wallet remaining balance, which shows how much will remain once the payment has been processed through HaulPay. Once everything looks good, click Save Payment. The payment is completed and the information is sent to HaulPay, creating a funding request instantly, with no need to log in or duplicate the work manually. This integration ensures payments move through securely and efficiently, so carriers get paid on time and your operation keeps running smoothly. It is important to note that your carriers need to have a relationship between the TMS and HaulPay. This connection isn't just required for processing payments. It's also what allows you to benefit from the HaulPay's fraud prevention network, ensuring that every transaction is verified and protected. If the HaulPay option appears grayed out along with the Add Relationship button, that means that the connection hasn't been set up yet. Just click Add Relationship and within seconds it's created. Once the connection is in place, you can process payment just like before, review the available funds, confirm the amount, and click Save Payment. After the payment is processed in HaulPay, the details sync automatically back to the TMS, updating your wallet balance and transaction record. So HaulPay Wallet brings together security, simplicity, and speed. It helps prevent fraud, keeps payment protected through the HaulPay trusted network, and gives you a low-cost electronic payment option that's easy to manage. The result? Faster, safer payments, all handled inside the TMS.
That's awesome. So Cami, I know you were pretty involved with the HaulPay Wallet. I know you, Chris, as well. In the development, working with Olivia over at the HaulPay with the HaulPay team. It's been a great, just working together and having that synergy and just making a product or a feature that really stands out and is just built seamlessly. So tell me, what is it like? In your words.
Okay, so first of all, thank you, and I want to say hi to the HaulPay team that is today viewing this webinar. The HaulPay Wallet basically is a frictionless AP solution that allows you at a very, very low transaction cost pay carriers, and it's offering different payment speeds and methods. So this way you can have higher revenue by having your own quick pay program stream, and all that by using your own funds. Integrated,
Nice.
of course, in the TMS.
Yeah. I mean, especially with, fraud continues to be the topic. We hear it constantly. And this was, one of the ideas that we had on how do we combat that, like inside our application, maybe not directly, impacting, fraud and theft and that side of it, but like really being able to ensure that you're paying the person that you are expecting to pay,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Why did we want to work with HaulPay on this one?
So that is very related to what you just mentioned, and it's like how they are so industry specific, and they really have all these fraud prevention and carrier vetting tools already built in it. So they want to make sure that you are sending your funds to the right pay. So I know they are integrated with different tools, including FMCSA. So there's like that extra layer of security that now we have in the TMS thanks to them.
Definitely. So, yeah, tell me what excites you about how we built this.
So something that I mentioned at the beginning when I was describing it is like how frictionless it is. Like we want it to be like super plug and play for everyone. So enrolling can take you like, I think in 24 hours or more, you can start using the wallet with us. You will see the link, it will be in the chat. So I don't know if it's there yet, but you can apply. But also you will see this same link in our UI, and then you can enroll on board as soon as possible and start using it, as fast as it is.
And I do believe we can edit the pay terms, right, on those, because you have like the opportunity to be able to do like a quick pay if you need to, and then get that handled. But again, seamlessly.
Yeah, there's like multiple speeds and payment methods that they are allowing. So you can send a wire, push to card, same day ACH, a check. And that way you can like offer different speeds to your carrier and making sure that you also have a revenue stream based on how fast it is using your own funds.
Exactly. And then just setting up is super easy. Right now, there's about a less than 24-hour turnaround on the getting set up, but we are also continuing to work with HaulPay on this to make it just push and send up. So should be very soon adding that additional functionality. So is there anything else you want to add about it?
Yeah, two more things. The first one is this integration doesn't replace the one that we already have for factoring companies. The solution is still going to be there. We're going to continue supporting it. It's just something complementary. And the second one is once you enroll with HaulPay, you can also get early access to their calculator tool. So you can start like calculating your potential revenue from quick pays and managing processing fees if you're not familiar with them. So that's very cool.
Very nice. Alrighty. Thank you for that, Cami. That was great. And Johan, thanks for putting that video together.
Oh, a couple
Marcus,
things.
if you could go. Oh, go
a couple things to answer some of the questions. HaulPay is more made for truckload. You can pay LT out of it. It's built for truckload. That's what it's designed around. I don't know the specifics. You'd have to get with HaulPay as to what that is, but I do understand you can pay LTL carriers through, but it was designed more for the truckload carriers. That's that one. The other one is how much does HaulPay? And I think you see Olivia answering some questions in the chat. She's our representative from HaulPay, and she's helping answer some questions. So if you see stuff from her, she's our HaulPay representative, so she can answer some of those questions. And it might be worth talking to her to go offline and start getting an account set up.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's go to our next solution. Another great partnership we have today with Global Payments and Click-to-Pay. So Marcus, can you please play the video?
Today we're excited to show how our integration with Global Payment helps you get paid faster and easier with our new Click-to-Pay functionality. Click-to-Pay is all about getting paid faster and easier. It gives your customers a simple, secure way to pay their invoices the moment they receive them. No logins, no portals, no waiting. Whether they choose to pay by credit card or ACH transfer, it's quick, convenient, and helps you keep cash flowing without delays. But the real advantage goes beyond just faster payments. Because Click-to-Pay is fully integrated with the TMS, every transaction is automatically linked to the corresponding shipment. That means your team saves valuable time on reconciliations, avoids errors, and always has real-time visibility into what's been paid and what's still pending. Setting up Click-to-Pay is simple. Inside your invoice email template, add the system tag called Pay Now URL. You can do this by going to your invoice HTML content template, clicking on Tools, and opening the source code. Then just place the tag wherever on your template and save your changes. That's it. You're ready to start accepting payments right from your invoice. So let's see this in action. From your shipment, create an invoice. When you open the invoices dynamic document, you'll see a Pay Now button automatically added at the bottom. Now, this is exactly what your customers will see when they receive the invoice via email. When they click the Pay Now button, it opens a secure payment page where they can enter their credit card or bank account details and complete the payment in just a few seconds. On this payment page, your customers will see all the key details: their name, invoice number, shipment ID, due date, and any processing fee if one's been added. You can set up the fee based on percentage, like 2.5 or 3%, and the total automatically updates to include it. Once the customer clicks charge either credit card or bank account, the system processes the payment instantly and confirms success with a transaction ID. And the best part, all of that information syncs automatically back to the TMS, no manual updates or data entry needed. Back in your shipment record, you'll see the payment details right in the activity log, including the transaction ID, processing fee, total payment, and contact information. You'll also find everything listed in the payment history. This makes it easy to track and reconcile all payments in one place. So Click-to-Pay makes receiving payments smooth and effortless for both you and your customers. It helps you get paid faster, keeps your cash flow healthy, and removes unnecessary steps from the process. Your customers enjoy a simple, secure experience, and you gain more time to focus on what really matters, running your business. So that's Click-to-Pay, a smarter, faster, and more secure way to receive payments. Set it up once and start getting paid right from your invoices.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Johan. So Global Payments they've been a really good partner with us, and we've been looking at like, how do we improve this process, make sure that our brokers have all the functionality that they need when working with the vendor, and they've been great in giving us a lot of insight into those things. And Kami, I think you were doing some research and you were finding like there's different, we found that customers were using different methods to get that. They want that click-to-pay functionality, but like none of it talked to the TMS, right? And so, so there's a lot of double entry there. They've got the functionality and the feature, they're getting paid, but then they have to go manually put everything back in. And so adding this functionality made it so that we can just have it on the invoice directly, push a button, get there, and just enter the information, and we do magic behind the scenes to go and tie it over to that shipment and just get all that information there in one place and quick and easy. And so so Global Payments is the partner that's allowing us to work in this way. So it's been great. Kami, have you seen any insights on that? I know you've got a lot of experience working with them.
Yeah, one of the reasons we decided to build it is because we really think it's important to have completely transparency between the different softwares that are involved in the payment. Like we have all the information from the TMS, the payment software has like the most, I don't know, like the payment method itself in a secure way saved. But also in other hand, like we also want to be sure that we involve the accounting software. So even if you have the accounting software like connected into a TMS, you only have to make like a couple of clicks and it's going to be like everywhere in a way that you're going to have like the real data available for multiple people's eyes, depending on what is important for them.
Okay. And what about like, because I'm seeing some questions come through about like, what is the cost and things like that. I know we have worked with them to ensure that like the transaction fees are competitive, that they're low as possible. But I don't know of any kind of like implementation fee, right? Like it doesn't cost anything to get active with them.
It doesn't, and actually that's a very good question, because for anybody that enrolls in Q4, they're going to have $100 credit in their statement with Global Payments. So even if they have like a monthly fees or transaction fees, you'll be able to use those $100 on your favor.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. I wasn't aware that they were doing that. That's nice.
Great timing. Also, the link should be in the chat if anyone wants to apply.
Very cool. All right. Anybody else have anything they want to contribute about global payments
I wonder if Johan.
in the Click-to-Pay?
I was gonna mention something really nice about the Click-to-Pay with global payments. Well, there is no need for login. That's very important. Something to highlight. Like you don't have to. Your customers don't have to have access to the customer portal to be able to make these payments. You can just add this link to your invoice. It gets sent out, and anybody that has access to that link can click on it, add their credit card information, and then you can get paid a lot quicker that way. So no need for logins. Just quick and easy. Click on the link, add the info, and then you're done. So something really important to highlight there.
Right on. Thanks for that, Johan. It's that ease of use and just making it super simple. All right, Cameo.
Yes, global payments is completely PCI compliant. So we don't store anything. We send it across, encrypt it over to them, and they take care of it.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. LSP Carriers Bulk Updates. Johan, can you show us how this looks inside the TMS and what are we speaking about?
Yes, we'll certainly do. Let me share my screen real quick here. So we implemented LSP Carrier, and in your LSP Carrier, there's the option for bulk update. About why we built it. It's just giving you better options. You can manage your carriers, adding labels, removing labels, maybe updating the carrier status in bulk.
Johan,
Even adding. Yes.
We are having issues.
We're having issues.
Oh. Yeah, with the microphone. Can you?
Give me a second.
Can you try it again?
See what's going on.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Okay, I think you're good.
Let's try again.
Go ahead. Try again. Oh, it's gonna. Mm-mm. Nope. Went dark.
Yep.
So all right. So the carrier bulk updates. This was a request that actually we got a lot of insight on this from our support team. They were kind of like the advocates behind building out this functionality, and really what we wanted to do with it was be able to do carrier updates in a much simpler way. So having the ability to have multi-carrier selection. There's a bulk operations panel now, which you can see there on the right. Bulk, so things that we can do is kind of like bulk label management as well. We heard some of this at the user conference. Wanting to be able to just in bulk add labels to carriers. Add or remove them across selected carriers. But we wanted a faster way to organize those into categories and then reflect those operations and things like that. Other things that we can do with this guy here is bulk status updates. So for example, apply active, blocked, disabled statuses, again, across multiple carriers. And so hopefully like a lot of what we want to be able to do with this functionality is just empower our users to be able to go in and just manage their carriers in bulk, and add the different, components that they need, added to each carrier to be able to then use them effectively in other areas of the system. Let's see here. Is there a way to bulk sync carrier data for my carrier packets? They're not through this functionality, but that's something that you can get with MCP to go reset and then push across to the TMS and get them to sync across. So let's see here. Again, why this
matters? Can you guys hear me better?
Oh yes. I think you're back.
Yes. Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, thank you, Daniel, for taking it from there. As I was mentioning, yeah, we have the option to add, remove labels from here, which is important because with labels, you can have specific services being added to your carriers, and then that's a way you can use this in truckload quoting to find carriers based on a specific service that you may need. So that's something that you can use it for. And as he was mentioning, updating the shipment statuses and also adding supported shipment types. So if you know this carrier does drayage, does LTL, does truckload, you can updates in both right from here. So that's gonna save you a lot of time when managing your carrier. So I wanted to show you a little bit of a use case for the labels. When you're in the truckload quoting screen, you have here the search criteria, and normally you would get a long list of carriers directly from your shipment history. So from here, you can come here and select carriers labels. Let's do flatbed, for example. And then that's going to just narrow down your list to the specific carriers that you need. Now you can just quickly select them and send a quote request to them. And then you know that these specific carriers does support this, for example, flatbed in this scenario. So that's a way you can use labels and, of course, manage them directly from the carrier list. Just wanted to show that.
Right on. That's awesome. I mean, that's exactly what, like how you use this functionality later on in other areas of the TMS. And so workflow, what once took many small steps, you can now complete those all in one action. The consistency by design. So as you notice, that bulk operations, it's a familiar layout, familiar, like how we do updates in the system. But really what you want to be able to do is just better organize your carriers, right? Manage large carrier networks and with confidence, and then keep those labels, correctly being distributed, status, and then same thing with the different shipment types. And then, keeping that nice and current. When you're on your truckload quoting screen, you're looking at the carriers that matter.
Awesome. Those are great use cases too. Does anyone want to add anything else about this product/feature?
Yeah, one of the questions we had was I think the question was, do we add the carrier levels to carriers? Those are just yours. So in our system, you have the carrier masters, and then you have an LSP carrier that you guys are used to working with. And when you add them, the data that's saved, the labels, the attachments, the contacts, that's all your data. Really, we only share the base core data that we get from like an FMCS, say, or something like that. So it is just your data. And as far as bulk operations go, this is really like, we started with shipments, now we're doing carriers, and then, the next area we'll start to work on is probably customers, accounting profiles. But this is kind of an initiative, is to be able to bulk update your data as you go along with this.
Awesome. Thank you, Vinny. And I think that's a great start for the next topic, and it's what's coming next, which is cross-border city lookup, and how this is like the first step towards something bigger. So let's watch a demo. Johan, I hope the demo.
You guys can hear me now.
And then you can tell us a little bit more about where are we heading with this.
Yes. So this is the first part of a bigger project that we are managing to support, as we support USA and Canada, to support Mexico as in your shipments for being able to quote, and also, for example, with a new integration partner that we're working really hard on with Cargado, to be able to use them as a load board posting for Mexico. So that's something that's what this is for. Just supporting Mexico as of now. What you can do, what you will be able to do is when you're creating shipments, you can come here and just switch the country to Mexico, and then you can add a Mexican zip code. And as you can see, the system will recognize it. You'll see the city, you'll see the state. This is Quintana Roo, Chetumal. And then you can use this, for example, for rating. You can generate a smart code. If you have a Mexican manual tariffs, then you can use that to generate a specific rate for a carrier that you use for Mexico. And then you can create your own manual tariffs and just make sure that they're getting rated, and then you can use them if there's some type of contract rate that you have with them. So that's what that you can use it for. And this is available for truckload quoting as well. You will be able to see Mexican zip codes and also include them in your address book, in your global and customer address book.
Awesome. Gracias, Johan. Team, can you please tell us why did we build this? Why is this so amazing?
Sure. So yeah, Johan touched on this a little bit, but just to give you some context, obviously we want our system to have full domestic North America support, Canada, US, and Mexico for anything related to rating or city lookup or just anything that involves putting in a postal code and finding or matching to a specific city, state, or time zone. In the past, we had the native support for US and Canada, and that was easy because the postal codes don't look the same, right? You can never mistake a Canadian postal code for a US postal code. However, when we change that over to looking at the Mexican postal codes, not only do they look the same and have the same format, but there's actually overlap where some of the postal codes are literally the same and used in both the US and Mexico. So what that means is before rating, as an example, city lookup as well, none of those places even considered the country. They were just based off of the postal code. So that made taking the step to integrate the Mexican postal codes a little bit tricky because we couldn't tell whether it was a US or a Mexican postal code. So we've totally combed through the system, and every single place that interacts with the postal code is also now what we call country aware. So something as simple as just looking up a city state. Now, if you change the country first, it will know whether you're looking up a city for Mexico or the United States. And then the same thing with rating. We wanted to make sure that rating was country aware as well, so that you could rate in and out of Mexico.
Thank you, Tim. It's interesting how challenging this feature has been. But I guess it was worthy because everything we want to do with it. Can you tell us a little bit more about where are we heading?
Yeah, so like on the surface, this sounds like a really simple thing, but when you actually start to unpack how many places in the TMS interact with the postal code, it's a lot. So this is actually a pretty big undertaking on our part just to unwind some decisions that were made and include the country as part of that. And so I've already mentioned rating and city lookup a couple different times, but this solves that problem. It makes sure that anytime you're requesting a rate through, let's say, an LTL carrier API, that we're passing through the postal code and the country and ensuring that you are getting the rates that you're expecting back. Same thing for that city lookup functionality. The other place is in our rating engine, or sorry, not our rating engine, but our tariff engine. So anywhere you're building a tariff, and those that have built a lot of tariffs in our system know that a big part of building tariffs or creating tariff lanes is building out regions or working off of things like states, countries, or postal codes, postal code ranges. And so now, of course, that will all support Mexico as well. So anywhere in the UI where you are setting or entering a postal code, if it didn't have the country before, now it does. So you'll see a couple new fields throughout the system next to postal codes where you can now change or adjust the country. And yeah, overall, this gets us in a place where now we don't have to worry about whether we can support any North America cross-border functionality between those three different countries of Canada, the US, and Mexico.
Yeah, it was a pretty big undertaking that we did with that, but that's part of our commitment to, to having cross-border functionality. And we've been working pretty closely with, as Johan alluded to, we've been working pretty closely with Cargado, and adding that specific kind of functionality in. But it's not just for the work with Cargado. You can also, like you mentioned, do all the rating inside the application, and so like as we add more abilities to the TMS, having full native support for cross-border helps us, continue to expand in that area.
Yeah, and the important thing is this was done in a way that realistically, if you're not working in Mexico, you shouldn't notice a difference. If you still have USA selected and you put in a Canadian zip code, it'll go find the Canadian zip code just like it does now. And if you defaulted and you use a USA zip code, it'll default to US. It'll find only US. But if you switch it to Mexico, that's where we really start to see the data come back.
Awesome. Seems like a great opportunity if you are not managing shipments through Mexico or like from to Mexico. Yeah, it's a great moment to start using these new features. Thank you very much. about it. And let's go to, do we have a final slide? I don't know. Yeah, let's go to some Q&A.
We've been pretty much handling all the questions as we see if there's any.
Unanswered, and I think they're pretty like for the implementation global payments fee, that should be the same. I think this is just free as part of it, so there's no new cost incurred for the link. Is that correct? Is that right, Daniel?
That sounds correct. Anna has a question about like whether do we need to have authorized.net set up to utilize global payments. Authorized and global payments are actually competitors, so they're the what do we call them? The gateway. So you, in this case, to work with global payments, you wouldn't necessarily have to work with authorized.net. Okay, there's a question from David. It's a little bit long. Let me get the question from Ryan. When do we plan to roll out the first and final mile? So that is actually live today.
Yep. Yeah, you can use it since last Friday.
And Jennifer has a question about like it's a little bit off topic, but how can she get more training in using Tai with LTL and running reports for LTL carriers? That is a very awesome question because we have a very helpful tool with that with our LMS. And do we have a contact for that? Let me pull that up real quick. We'll post it in here with the contact and on how to get access to it.
Yeah, so for final mile, we have documentation, but we'll be sending all the information about this new feature the first week of November. Wait for our monthly product updates. You will see this video, you will see more details, documentation, so you can start using it. And in general, make sure that you are reading our emails and seeing the in-app engagements that we're posting in our platform so you can see what are the latest features.
All
right. That does it. I think
everybody loved it. That's what I like to see.
It was clear enough. Great. So I want to thank you.
I'll post the link to the LMS here. Sorry.
Okay.
In the chat.
So I want to thank the team here, Daniel, Tim, Chris, Johan, and Marcus, who is behind the scenes, for sharing all this incredible information to our customers. We have webinars every quarter, and we also have new questions.
Okay. Let's see here for Anna. Let's see here regarding the authorized.net. We'll look into that one and get that clarified, and then make sure that you get the correct answer back. And then let's see here.
Jennifer, can I use MacroPoint for truckload with Tai?
Of course, yes. All right. So that just about does it for us.
Okay. Thank you very much. Oh.
The last question, bulk update statuses. I think you can do that on the truckload side, but currently not on the. Right? Is that true?
Say it again.
The question about can she bulk set shipments to complete?
That should be one of the statuses.
Yeah.
So
Melissa, just so you know, we're working on something that next year, just like you're talking about, when both the AP, the AR, and the commissions are satisfied, we'll be automatically moving them to completed. Is the plan.
And one last thing about the training for getting access to the learning management system. If you go to the icon, the question mark icon in the TMS, and then go to learning dashboard, that will take you to the LMS where you can get direct access. Alrighty. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Make that money.